Starts recording automatically. Welcome everybody to our most recent webinar. Today, Shannon's going to be taking you through something called Your Story. And I'm not going to say a whole lot about it because she will do that. But I just wanted to say hello. My name is Jody. I'm your producer today. Just as a reminder for anyone who joins, there is the lovely, I believe her name is Rita, is here, and she is doing our translation in Spanish for us. So if you have any Spanish needs, you're covered. The chat is open and available for you. So Sherman already said hello. If anybody else would like to hop onto the chat and let us know where you're calling in from today, we would love to know where people are. So please go ahead and do that. I am actually in the very, very cold, rainy, blowy UK right now. So that's where I am. So let us know where you are. And of course, we always want to encourage you to use the reactions throughout the session today. Being a webinar, Shannon is usually used to having people talk back to her. And so that's your way of talking back to Shannon today. So make sure that you do that. Well, Honolulu. Stacy's in Honolulu. Well, I don't know. I'm decided if I like you or don't like you because of that.
It's a little bit of jealousy talking, Jody.
Sherman is in Trinidad and Tobago, so I feel the same way about you. All right, so we've got Spanish translator. We've got, make sure you use your reactions to say hello. Why don't you quickly pop on there and give us a reaction so we know you found it. There is a Q&A available for you if you have any questions outside of what Shannon is talking about that you'd like answered, and we try to answer those usually in a future webinar. But we're getting close. We've only got one more after this. So that's kind of sad and kind of exciting all at the same time. And the last thing, just as a quick reminder, this webinar is being recorded. So if you want to share it with your team, if you want to rewatch it yourself, if you have to pop off for some reason partway through, we've also got you covered there. All right, so I'm going to pass it to Shannon. I'm also going to put some information into the chat for you in both Spanish and English to help you along the way. Enjoy your webinar.
Thank you so much, Jody. So Jody is in the UK and it's a little chilly there, I think. I'm in Canada. I'm in Western Canada. And yesterday we had a beautiful day, 18 degrees. So, you know, t-shirt material weather. And but today it's a different kind of day. It's kind of cold and dreary. But I am still very, very grateful to be here with you and to talk a little bit about what is the story we need to tell when we are talking about Healy and when we're sharing something that we feel passionate about and love. But before I do, I'd love to see on a scale of 1 to 5. Jody's going to launch that poll for us. Out of curiosity, how are we showing up today? Are we like all in or feeling the heat?
All right, I just launched the poll, so hopefully you guys can see it here and you're able to access it.
Great.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, we're going to give it another 10 seconds, just 10 more seconds. Just give anybody else a chance that wants to do that. Then I will share the results with you in just a second. All right, let's end that poll. I'm going to share the results. There we go.
Perfect.
Can you see it, Shannon?
Yeah, I sure can. So we got folks in a pretty good space today, and that's awesome. Maybe one person who's like, I got lots of stuff going on. Hey, I feel that pain. I was just telling Jody before we jumped on that I had I believe I've shared with you before, I have 4 kids, and my youngest turned 12 last week, and we had a big birthday party for her. But we did a royal gala. And it was a sleepover. We created a castle and a sleepover and a big brunch in the morning. And it was 8 12-year-old girls. So you can imagine how tired I was yesterday. So I'm recovering. I'm feeling very sort of grateful to have the house back to myself and here just doing the things that I love. So like I said, today we're going to talk about our story, and we're going to talk about how to ignite our influence, inspire action, and how to create a story that people want to hear, one that we feel comfortable sharing. And so I think that and it's not just, I know based on the background that I've had in network marketing and some of the objections that come our way when it comes to doing this for a living or taking this on as a project or a love project or something that to make a few extra dollars. Doesn't matter why we get in, many of us find it difficult because selling doesn't feel comfortable. And so oftentimes we'll hear people, well, share a story, share your love of the product. Well, to be honest, we got to do all of that. And that is part of our story. So we're going to jump right in. And what I've done is I've broken up today in about like 5 small kind of topics. And the reason why I've done that is because I want to break it down for you. And I want to make this really, really simple and ensure that when you are out there and you're sharing Healy, that you know what to do, you know the things that matter to the people that might be interested, and also avoid doing some of the things that you might unknowingly um, do that don't necessarily create the best story for you. So we're going to tell you what's important when you are sharing your story. We're going to start with sharing the right kind of things, and we're going to focus on 3 things that folks really need to understand when they are sharing something they love, like Healy. So it's the features of Healy, it's the benefits and the mission. We're going to kind of go into that in some more detail about why that has such impact. Then we're going to talk a little bit about being a fan of our product, how to be authentic and how to be enthusiastic and really create a genuine passion and share that so that others don't feel like they're being sold to, that they're actually feeling like they can trust you because you have a genuine love and passion for what you do. I can use myself as an example in this particular case. I am so passionate about what we do here at TAP and the way in which we are able to make a small improvement in people's lives, that it resonates in the way that I talk and the way that I show up. I want you to be able to do the same thing for Healy, okay? People will catch on to that authenticity. They will catch on to you being genuine. And you don't need to know all things. Listen, I have a team of people that help me deliver the best results for our clients. And you have teams, you have upline, you have corporate staff that can also help you tell the story in a really powerful way. You don't need to know all the things, but you do need to be a fan. Um, if you are trying to sell something that you don't believe in, that you don't think works, that you actually, you know, you've never opened the box, well, that's going to be a problem. It's people will catch on to you not being genuine, but you don't need to know all things, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. We're going to talk about how to attract our audience, and what I mean by audience is the people out there in the world who are in need of Healy. And that's our audience. These are people who might be open to a frequency device, might be open to learning more about wellness, learning more about ways in which they can support their wellness journey. So these are the people that we want to attract. How do we do that? Well, we do that obviously when we're building relationships. But online is really important these days. And we're going to talk about why that's so important. You may choose to do and build your business or share Healy in whatever way you need to do that. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's through your practice. That's all great. But being online can help. And we'll talk about that. Then we're going to talk about how to formulate a story that's captivating, how you can bring people along and inspire them and create some interest. And then we're gonna end our webinar talking about simply sharing, that art of engagement, that place where we can be so comfortable just sharing what we do and what we love and how we do that in a way that doesn't feel cringy, in a way that doesn't feel like I'm trying to sell you something, that there's a genuine interest in helping you along your wellness journey. Okay. So we're going to start with sharing the right stuff. So like I said, There's a reason why we focused on these three things: the features, the benefits, and the mission. When you buy something, oftentimes you buy it to make you feel something. When's the last time, in the chat, when's the last time you bought something just because of how it made you feel? What was it? And what did it make you feel? I'm curious. Two days ago, Stacy, talk to me. What was it? And how did it make you feel? I am so curious. Hawaiian hair oil. All right. Okay. And did it make you feel good? Clothing makes me feel great. Yeah, I get it. Oh, it's not here yet. Okay, all right. Okay. So you're excited about how it makes you feel, right? So we all do this. Yeah, healthy hair, it's a great thing. So we often do that. We often purchase things because we want to change the way we feel. Great example is hair care. So if we are finding maybe that our hair is dry or it's brittle or it's breaking or, it's not growing, we may go out and find a product that might make us feel a little bit better about that breakage and have that. Or, buying a new skirt or a new pair of pants or a really sharp shirt to make us feel good. And that's okay. The thing is oftentimes we have an emotional intention when we purchase things. And emotional needs are often at the core of some of our purchases and some of our buying behaviors. It's not just about the product itself. It's not just about what it does, but sometimes it's about the experience that it promises. I want to have healthy hair. Maybe it's a you've been conscious about your hair, and now all of a sudden I used to work for a network marketing hair care company, so this is a really easy one for me to talk about. And I remember talking from stage about the difference. I had hair that I could never ever grow, kept breaking off. I started using my product, and I was so excited about telling people because I was very very conscious of about my thinning and breaking hair. And so yeah, we do that. And so we can do that with Healy as well. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So let's think about the features first. When we look at the features of our Healy products, we probably see more than just advanced technology or a really nice innovative design. Each feature is developed with the purpose of enhancing well-being. And so when we're thinking about the features, we're thinking about what it can do, the dimensions, the specifications. So our programs at Healy are designed to support specific, let's say, bodily functions. They're not just settings, but they're actually pathways to better health or well-being. And so this is something that, we might want to talk about. Obviously, we have to make sure that we're talking about it compliantly. I'll throw that in. But at the same time, we still want to talk about what it can do and how it can help on their wellness journey. The benefits is where we talk about the impact, okay? You can talk about why it matters to you, what the end result you might expect to see, how it makes you feel. Frequencies don't just operate in the background, they can sometimes aid in, feeling rested or increasing vitality or supporting natural processes in the body. These aren't just improvements, they are real value in, in your daily life. And then mission, and it kind of all leads us back to that, is making holistic health accessible to all. And so, it's not just about the products, it's about, let's say, committing to life's quality and empowering people to take their own wellness journey in their own hands, not kind of leaving it to chance. It's about aligning with our purpose, making sure that Healy is more than just a transaction, and it's really a step in helping others achieve healthier, more harmonious lifestyle. And so we want to make sure that this is something that we are also sharing. So people buy for all these reasons. They do buy for what it can do. They buy for how it will make them feel, but they also buy because it serves a greater good. And so this is something we always want to be conscientious of when we are sharing Healy with other people. So here's a really great example. This one was, we took this from another network marketing company. You might be aware of them, a company called Arbonne. And of course, we work with a lot of different network marketing companies. And so we like to give different types of examples. Now we are going to give one for Healy in a second, but this one's kind of fun to look at because I think it's very, very simple, and it really helps you kind of identify which are the three things: the features, benefits, and mission. Okay. So this gentle ophthalmologist tested eye gel glides on with our cool rollerball applicator for instantly refreshing feel. Okay. So that's a feature. The benefits: it helps reduce the appearance of puffiness. It hydrates the eye area for smoother looking skin. And the mission is we integrate the most beneficial ingredients, and we do it responsibly, taking care of the earth at the same time. So what we do know about the modern consumer is they consider all of these things. We might have at one time, and I think when we first got together, if you haven't watch the earlier webinars, probably a really great thing to do, because we did talk about, the modern sales and the modern consumer and how they differ from, let's say, people who were buying 10, 20, 30 years ago. And so more and more and more, our our clients, our customers, our prospects are very, very interested in how we source our materials, how it helps, the overall earth. They're thinking about how it helps wellness, and not just our physical wellness, but our mental and our emotional and our spiritual. So there are things that maybe we didn't think about when we were purchasing before that now modern consumers do. So let's show you an example. This may or may not be something you would use, but I gave it a shot. Okay. So if I was selling Healy, this is something I might say or say about it when I'm explaining the features. So experience a harmonious fusion of technology and wellness with Healy. Each of our devices are equipped with a multitude of frequency programs, meticulously designed to support your body's natural balance. The compact design allows Healy to be your constant companion, providing wellness support wherever you go. So this is a really great way to say this is the features of Healy and our Healy device. Now, benefits, sorry, this looks a little bit, hopefully you can still read it. It's a little light. I probably should have used a darker font here, but for benefits with Healy's personalized frequencies, you can enjoy the benefits of tailored well-being programs, whether it's for supporting your energy levels or aiding in stress reduction or feeling restorative sleep. Healy's benefits are as diverse as your body needs, promoting an overall sense of wellness. Now, I do want to point out that's a lot of words. Okay. I'm not expecting you to speak like that, nor am I expecting you to create a post like that. What I am trying to do right now, though, is give you some words, give you some ways in which you can think about sharing the benefits. And after this session, I'm really going to highly encourage you to write down them. So write down, what would you say when you're talking about, you know, when you're talking about the features? What would you say when you're talking about the benefits? And then talking about the mission, we might say something like this. We're committed to combining cutting edge science with the holistic wisdom of health. We want to deliver innovative wellness solutions that align with our values of health empowerment and personalized care, ensuring that we contribute positively to your well-being and the well-being of our planet and the people who inhabit it. So this might be something that you might say when you're talking about the mission. So to kind of sum that all up, people are interested in features. They're motivated by benefits, and they're moved by mission. You might have heard this quote before by Simon Sinek. People don't buy what you do, they often buy why you do it. So when you are thinking about sharing Healy, I want you to think about those three things, okay? So if you take nothing away from this section except, what did I say? Benefits. What was the next one? Anyone remember? So what did we say? What are the three things that we want to think about? I'm looking for it in the chat. Benefits, features, and mission. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure that you're walking away knowing what you want to be sharing with others, okay? All right, awesome. Let's jump into the next sort of mini topic that I wanted to talk about, and that is being a fan of your product. Being a fan of your product, being a fan of Healy is sort of imperative to being congruent, having integrity, and people pick up when you are being fake. It's something, not only do they pick it up, years ago they probably wouldn't call you out for it, but today our modern consumer will call you out for it. You know, what do you like about it? What do you know, you don't seem to know too much about it. What do you know, so you really do have to be genuine. You want to be thinking about, do you believe genuinely that your product helps people? Will it make people's lives better and easier in some way, shape, or form? Do you love the products you sell? If you genuinely love what you sell, sharing is so much easier. But it's really, really key to be thinking about your energy, the energy you're bringing to the table when you talk about it. You want to be excited. You want to share some of those things. We often are like, when we're talking to folks and we're like, let's say in a store, or we're, you know, in a clothing store, or maybe we're at the Apple store, whatever store we might be in. We want to see the person kind of showing us, look, this skirt, it's, you know, it's beautiful, it's made of this material, it looks really great when you wear it, it feels really good, the material is soft, right? You talk about an Apple product, maybe you're talking about how exciting it is that it has these new features on it. It's going to make you feel really great because you're going to be, you know, in the know with all the other people that have Apple products, whatever it may be. You want to be sharing that excitement. When it comes to Healy, you also want to be enthusiastic. You also want to be excited. And that excitement is contagious. It makes people feel curious. They want to know, what is it that's got, you know, Shannon all excited about. I'll be honest, whenever I'm sharing what we do at TAP, I might be at my kids' soccer game. And already I've had people who have said, hey, do you guys do training for this? It's because I talk about it with such passion. It's because I talk about it and I'm excited about what I do. And I cannot help but share. I cannot help to share some of the stories that the people that have gone through some of our programs, the growth that they've experienced, the differences in some of their businesses since they've learned some of these things. And so we want you to be able to do the same type of thing. We want to make sure that you are sharing the things that people need to know when you are sharing Healy, and you're doing it in an authentic way. You want to know your products. The key thing here, though, is that you don't need to know everything. There are so many people, and I think in direct sales, is definitely, we see a lot of it, especially when there's like science behind a product. And often in direct sales, you know, there's a lot of science and a lot of research and development that goes into the products that we serve others with. And I remember that particular hair care company that I used to work for. It was before I had started my training company. And and I was teaching our group in Alberta. We were doing some sales training and some product training. And one of the leaders, or sorry, one of the new people stood up and said, I feel very overwhelmed because I don't know everything, all this science, all this stuff. I don't know what I should be sharing. Here's the thing, folks, you don't need to know everything. You probably should understand the features, okay? So some of those things. You probably need to understand some of the benefits and understand some of the problems that they might solve. You might want to know a little bit about how your frequency device is different than other things that are on the market, and you might want to know how to use them. But you don't need to know everything. That's okay. You don't have to have all of the knowledge in your head at that time. In fact, sometimes that will do you that 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 does you no good, because what ends up happening is we share too much information, we overwhelm people. We just want to know some of those little things. Hey, this is going to help with this. I know someone who, experienced this when they were using their Healy device. And so you can share some of those stories. You can talk a little bit about how you tried this product before you found Healy, and now you're using this, and this is the experience you've had. But you definitely don't need to know everything. I can't express that enough. But you do want to be enthusiastic. You want to share that excitement that you have for your product. Just don't fake it, okay? So don't pretend you know things that you don't know. It is always okay to say, you know what, I don't even know that yet. But I am going to ask my upline, or I'm going to ask my friend who has been using Healy for years. I'm going to ask her, and she's going to share that with us. So it's okay to not know everything. You just want to know some of the basics, okay? And so when you're thinking about sharing your story, these are some of the things that I want you to what I want you to consider. One of the biggest objections that we get often is, well, okay, what if I don't understand my product fully? Or what if I don't like a certain program? Maybe, or I don't find that program useful, but I find this program useful. This isn't really good for the type of business I'm in. I want a personal device, or I want something for my business. This is this is my target audience. But what if I don't know or like every product or every program at Healy? What do I do then? How can I be authentic? Any thoughts on that? I'd love to hear some of your thoughts, if you have any. I'll just wait, give you a second. So what if you don't fully understand, or don't know, or don't necessarily find certain things valuable, but you find other things valuable? How do you sell those items? How do you share those items? Any thoughts? Are you waiting for the answer? Okay. I don't see anything coming in, but I will definitely check the chat if you do come in with something. I will share some examples. Now, these are, okay, Sherman, I love that. Speak of what you know. All right, so I do love that answer, and that's a very good answer for this particular issue that we can have in network marketing. These are real responses from real network marketers across the board, okay? So this is not just Healy or Arbonne or Monate or Young Living. There are like tons of different responses that we gathered when we were doing some research. So here are some of the ways in which people used things that they didn't necessarily know or like, and they still sold them anyway. All right. I've personally built a team of over 50,000 distributors in my second company around a product I couldn't drink. I'm allergic to everything. But what I did do was I used the stories of success on my team and always connected like with like. Love this response. Can you imagine not being able to use the product and being allergic to it, but still being able to build a business on it? Holy smokes, right? Okay, here's another one. I tell them the truth 100% of the time. People appreciate honest opinions. It also builds trust. My company sells tons of products. That doesn't mean I have to love them all. I tell them the truth and sell what I love. And I've personally sold over 700,000 in products this way. Interesting. Taste is an individual thing. So this is obviously a network marketing company that sells something that they eat. It won't matter what your personal likes or tastes are once you cater to the client's needs and those true objectives. It's not about you, it's about them, right? So when you take the focus off of you and you share stories maybe that will resonate with them, then it changes things up for you. Here's another one. It's like asking a waiter or waitress at a restaurant what their favorite meal on the menu is, okay? Let's say they hate sushi and you love sushi. How should they respond? You tell the truth and you sell other people's experiences, okay? I'm going back to the chat now because we've got some more in here. Let's see what we're saying here. I let people know that I don't know everything, but I'm open and I'm learning. I love that. Plus, we don't all experience things the same as everyone else. It's very individual. Some love the gemstone influence. Others resonate with gold programs. We all have our own needs and wants, and Healy gives us so many options. Absolutely. And this is the point I'm trying to make, is sometimes we get overwhelmed, especially new people. So if you are here and you have a team or you've got people who are interested and they're like, I don't know how to sell this because I don't know that, express that with them. It's not about what always works. You want to be a fan of Healy, of course. And we can see this, Esty, we can see that you are like, some love this, some love this. What I love about Healy is that there's so many options and there's definitely something right for you there. So that is a way that you can express in an authentic and genuine way about Healy and about the programs that are at our fingertips. So I love that. Thank you so much. All right. Another couple of them. These are real responses again. Love this. I say my favorite products are, then I say we're all different. This is what's so great about our company. Look, it's almost like Esty wrote this here for us. It's almost identical. So this is really great. We have products to appeal and help different needs. Love. There's one product my company has that doesn't work for me, but it's worked wonders for my kids and my clients. So remember, just be authentic, be genuine. You don't have to be fake. And in fact, fake will turn people away, especially in this modern consumerism that we have, because people really value authenticity. They really value transparency, and they want a trusting person to talk to them about their experiences. Love this. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And so we do need to be enthusiastic. We want to be enthusiastic about Healy and what we can do to help others. All right, so let's jump into the next one, attracting your audience with engaging content. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes here just talking about what you do online. Now, I will openly, I just want to throw it out there that I understand that not everyone uses an online approach to share Healy or build their business, and that's okay. This is really just to create a little bit of awareness for those of you who may not, but it's also to provide some guidance if you're considering, or if you're out there doing it all the time, but you're not really getting any headway, then maybe it's because you're not necessarily sharing or doing the things online that you should. So not a social media webinar today, but there are some key things when it comes to sharing our story online that we definitely want to keep in mind when we're engaging. Okay. So what we know is modern consumers are researching online for sure. Okay. So the fact that even if they're not buying online, they're still researching. They're still going online to see, what do people say about Healy? What do people say about frequency devices? What do people say about, alternative wellness journeys? So it's more important than ever to be found online. And you may say, well, there's a lot of negative stuff out there. There's negative stuff about network marketing. There's negative stuff about, alternative wellness devices or paths or whatever it may be. The fact is the more positive stuff we put out there, the higher the algorithm brings up those good things, right? So we want to be online. We want to be helping those who are, sharing Healy online to build that algorithm up and make sure that there's lots and lots and lots of positive stories out there about Healy and about network marketing in general. So when you're thinking about creating content, you want to be thinking about three things, okay? You want to be making sure that you're adding value. So content is anything that's going to add value to your audience, all right? So maybe you're going to share a story, maybe you're going to be entertaining, maybe you're going to share an experience. It's really anything that might add value to your audience's life, all right? And so when we're thinking about going online, we want content to create a connection, okay? And so if you are providing value to someone online, you're creating a connection with them. Now, if you further engage with that person and you make sure that it's authentic and it's genuine, you are making a quality, what I would call a quality connection. And quality connections, which are those authentic and genuine connections that are truly about understanding another person and connecting with them on the human level, this creates trust. And I can tell you that trust creates a business. It creates a pathway to share Healy. And I can also say the opposite. Without it, you won't. So if you can't get out there and create trust, if people don't trust you, then you will not be able to share Healy, and nor will you be able to build a team or a business if that is the path that you're using Healy. If you're looking to build that team, okay. So what do people want when they're online? It's pretty simple, actually. People want to connect, they want to engage, they want to interact with people, and they want to learn. I can also tell you something else. They don't want to be pitched to or sold to on social media, and they're tired of it. It's, unfortunately, we've got so many people out there that are involved in network marketing companies that often spam people. They're constantly posting about their business. They're being pushy, and we don't want to be pushy. That's not something that's going to help us. And it's definitely going to go against our greater mission of getting Healy shared worldwide. All right. So when you think about it that way, think about your responsibility. Your responsibility to help people will be damaged if you're out there being pushy and cringy, and you're causing people to have a bad taste in their mouth. So you don't want to do that. You want to use social media as a way to network. You want to use it to build relationships. You want to interact with potential prospects or people that you can help. You definitely want to share knowledge. You want to create awareness, but you don't want to be pushy. You don't want to spam people. You want to make friends and create curiosity. That's what you want to do. So what are the types of posts you should be considering? You might say, well, yeah, I'd love to do all of that, but maybe I don't have a lot of time, so I end up just putting the sale on, or, maybe I'm just like resharing somebody else's stuff. And that's fine. You can share some of those things. But really what you want to be doing when you're working in social media and you're doing it to share Healy, you want to create that awareness. And it's a slow process. Um, it's really interesting because when I was working, so I was working for corporate for a while. And when I was working for corporate in the network marketing industry, I would have the occasional distributor or member who would say, yeah, but that takes a long time. And I just want to get sales, and I want to build my business, and I want to be this, and I want to reach this rank. And the fact of the matter is there are no magic pills. I've said this before. So if you've been in a session with me, that's how I feel about it. There are no magic pills. Do some people experience exponential growth really, really quickly in network marketing? Yes, it happens. It's not the norm. All right. If you want a sustainable business, or if you are in this because you truly care about people and you really want to share Healy, then it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to build trust online. It's going to take some time to share all the things that you know and the story that you want to share. and you want to do it in ways that are not pushing people away or feeling pushy or cringy. So, with that said, let me provide for you a list of things that can really, really help. Okay. So, maybe you're getting a lot of questions and maybe it's the same question over and over again. Share the answer. Why not? Jump on a live or jump on a video or, post the question. I've had this question has been asked 3 times this week and I thought I'd jump online and give you the answer. What a great way. That's interesting. That's curious. And then all of a sudden, even if I didn't have that question, I would be, oh, what are other people asking? So now I'm curious. I'm going to read it. Okay. Posts that make me feel some kind of way. Okay. Maybe they make me feel upset. Maybe they make me feel happy. Maybe they make me feel frustrated. None of those are bad in themselves. Okay. So think about that. Maybe sometimes I want to be entertained. I want to laugh. And I resonate with people who have a good sense of humor. So it's not bad. It's not unprofessional to be witty or entertaining and help people laugh. It's a beautiful thing. Um, One of the things that happens when you do posts that you strongly agree or disagree with, that can be very polarizing, but it does get a lot of engagement. So I'm going to say, if you're looking for engagement, you can go ahead and be very polarizing. What I would say is remember that there's a cost to that, okay? And that cost is that you may create a defense mechanism that goes up with other people. And let me tell you something. I'm going to share a secret with you as a learning professional. When people's defense mechanism goes up, their ability to learn goes down. So if you're making people feel defensive about their lifestyle, about a certain political thing, maybe it's a religious thing, maybe it's a belief system, maybe it's whatever it may be. Now, if you're okay with that, hey, who am I to say? What I will tell you is, as a learning professional who has a mission to reach as many people as I can to help them uncover their potential, it would not be in my best interest, because of that mission, to get people's defenses up. Because I want to help. I want to teach them. I want to show them. So to be overly aggressive, to be in your face, to be posting things that are really, really polarizing, that would put people's defenses up. And oftentimes in my industry, that's the people I actually want to help. So then I'm left with all the people who are already learning the things that I'm teaching. So I actually want to go to the other people. So keep that in mind, okay? You will get engagement, but is that the kind of engagement you want? Here's another one: DIYs, explainer posts, and they don't have to be about Healy, folks. This could be anything. It gets people engaged. It gets people curious. They want to know more. They're like, oh, I'm going to follow this person. And then the odd time when you share about Healy, or you're sharing a story, or you're sharing somebody else's story, all of a sudden they're listening because they like you. People will do business with people they like, right? Posts that let me share my opinion, posts around my interests and hobbies. These are all things that will create those engaging posts, okay? And so you just need to think about it. So how do you create engaging posts? You get to know your audience. That's what you do. You get to know your audience. And then what you do is you bring them along a journey. And that journey kind of goes like this. You get to know, be clear on who you are and what you offer. Get to know your followers and then follow them. All right. Get to know what they want and what they like. All right. And oftentimes when you follow someone, guess what? They'll return the favor and they'll follow you. Connect to your audience, build relationships, build trust, ask questions. And again, if you go in hot, sometimes it burns that bridge. And you don't want to burn that bridge. Okay. Don't go in too hot. Go in a little cool. You're not going to burn the bridge. You're still going to be able to walk over it. It just, if you go in hot, sometimes you can't make it past hello. All right. Connect with your audience, engage with them, post on what they're like. Maybe you're, great photo, great family photo. Oh, I was in Disneyland too, whatever it may be. Just engage with them. And then you can share, right? Then you can share those solutions with that audience. And that is, my friends, selling. Just get good at those 5 things. If you want to take a snapshot, go right ahead. I'll keep it on there for a second. Okay. So know your niche. Talk about your company, your focus, your expertise, your brand. Know your audience. Create audience-focused content. Solve problems. Be interesting. Be fun. Engage with them. Have an emotional connection. Show your personality. Be direct. Have integrity. Provide quality content, not garbage. Connect with people. That means you're connecting on their posts. You're asking how they are doing. If they've posted that they lost their dog that week, what a beautiful way to connect with someone, to say, hey, I had a dog too. I'm so sorry for your loss. Like, connect with people genuinely. Now, if you don't like dogs, and then don't make that connection, okay? That's not the right thing. But if you understand somebody else's pain, then that's okay. It's okay to connect with people that way. Then you can confirm their pain points and understand their interests once you've made that quality connection. And then you can create some awareness, provide solutions, and help educate. So is being online worth it? Well, it's probably not a surprise to you. It is, of course. 92% of marketers agree that social media is important. And according to HubSpot, okay, small businesses who use social media for at least 1 year are generating leads. They're making new partnerships, have improved search engine rankings, and 69% say it helps build a loyal fan base. May I share my own story here? I will tell you that my business has only grown because of my connections and someone telling someone else, seeing me online, seeing me on LinkedIn. We have not gone out there and done a heck of a lot in marketing at all. That is how I built my business, along with, of course, word of mouth when someone's been in a class and they've shared it with someone else. But understand, those people then go online to find me, and they go online to see what kind of content I have. They go online to see about my business. Maybe they go online to see, what type of person I am, whether or not they want to put me in front of their field or in front of their corporate staff. And so this is really important. Okay. All right, let's jump into the power of story. We've got about 12 minutes left. Let's see if we can get it through. When you're thinking about telling your story, understand, we want to get the features, we want to get the benefits, and we want to get the mission. The best way to do it is to share a personal story. All right. Think about it this way. Now, in the first part of this, I know it's a lot of words. I'm going to read it to you, okay? So you don't need to read through it. I know I don't have translation on it, but I'll give our translator time to translate. So, what would be better, this or that? Our product was voted #1 in North America. It is 37% better than our competitors. It saves both time and money. All right? So you've heard that. Now, you hear this. Sharon started using our product about 6 months ago. She messaged me last week saying she's never seen such quick improvement and no longer needs to use any of her other products at all. She's also been saving $30 a month. Her friends are actually noticing and they're interested in buying. She's blown away by how she feels, and she's actually thinking about starting her own business. I'd ask by a show of emojis. Which one or two? I don't really need your answer. I know the answer. It's the story, right? So how do you create your own story? How do you go about putting your own story together? What is a story that helps the reader or the person who's hearing it on the other end feel some kind of way? Well, these are the important parts, okay? There's 6 parts of creating a story. you want to introduce the hero, okay? Whether that's the product, whether that's you, whether it's another client, all right? You want to develop the characters. You want to describe a setting. You want to explain a conflict or a problem or a solution. So that's that part in the story where there's some sort of conflict that we need to get over. And then you're going to share the solution or the resolution, and you're going to wrap it up with a powerful ending. So let's give you an example. Okay, here we go. Sarah has just been introduced to essential oils, all right? I worked at an essential oils company in direct sales as well. So this one, again, is a story that I know well. Mary, Sarah's neighbor, sells essential oils with a direct sales company. Sarah invites Mary to her class, Power of Essential Oils, because she knows she struggles with headaches. Sarah comes and learns how to use the oils for headaches, but she is struggling with the price. It's expensive to buy good oils. Mary helps her find an oil she can afford and an oil that can be used for many things, which is a bonus. Sarah becomes a big believer in essential oils. She has way less headaches and is even sleeping better. What a great story. Stories like this absolutely sell, and it is much better than just stating out facts, okay? Stories are powerful because it creates those feelings of familiarity. It helps build trust. They create emotions that we can connect to. They allow people to often imagine themselves in the stories. Oh, I struggle with headaches too. I wonder if those essential oils, wonder what oil she ended up buying. You know, stories connect with many types of learners. Sharing a story is interesting and engaging, which is a lot more interesting than sharing a list of benefits or features. And one thing that's really for certain is stories are memorable. When someone tells you a story really can last. Let me give you an example. If I told my daughter when she was little, let's make it real. I told my daughter when she was little to not touch the stove because the stove is hot and you're going to burn your hands. However, the next day, the stove gets turned on by accident. And guess what it does? On my oven, I don't know about yours, but I have on my stovetop, it's glass top, and it turns bright red. Okay. So what do you think my 4-year-old's going to do when it turns bright red? Yeah, exactly. Put your hands on the burner because it's red, it feels warm, and now all of a sudden we've got a problem on our hands. Had I told her the story of her older brother, she might have not touched it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I told the story that when her older brother was younger like her, he actually went into the kitchen when the stove was turned on and he touched it. And you know those scars on your brother's hands on the tips of his fingers? That's because he touched the stove. And Mummy had to bring him to the hospital and it burnt and he cried a lot and he was in a lot of pain. And even now it still hurts sometimes because the burn was so bad. What do you think is going to affect her? What do you think she's going to remember when she sees the stove? Oh, I'm not going to touch the stove because my brother Lucas, he burned his hands on the stove when he was little. So sometimes the features, the benefits, even the mission, sometimes it doesn't resonate as much as a story would. So how do you get your stories? What if you don't have your own? And that's especially true for people who are brand new to Healy. But guess what? There's a solution, all right? You can get the stories from other people. Have many stories from your own experience, from your upline, from your crossline, okay? They don't have to be from you. One thing that I do really think is very key, though, is making sure your stories are legitimate and not exaggerated. They should include a variety of people or different types of people. Think about different problems that they've solved and demonstrate different results as well. So-and-so experienced this, so-and-so experienced this. Have some long ones, have some short ones. Have stories that are good for people online and for people in person. And what we're going to do now is we're going to give you a storybook challenge. All right. So this is going to be sort of homework for you. I'm not going to check in on it, but I do think it's really, really, really important for you to have a ton of stories in your, in your toolbox for when it's appropriate and when you want to share Healy with someone else. Okay. Not only that, though, is it can actually help your team, especially new members that join your team. So create a list of the most common challenges your products addresses. Okay. At the beginning of the month, inform your team that you're going to have a storybook challenge, and each participant needs to contribute 3 stories. This is what it can include: product line, program, whatever it may be, how it helped them or their clients solve a common challenge or problem, how they felt before the problem was solved, how they felt after it was solved. Have some pictures if there's any, and keep your story to about 100 words. Short stories, of course, are easier to share. Collect the stories throughout the month in one common place. So you could put it in a Facebook group, you could have it like online in an online shared folder, however way you work and operate within your team. And then encourage everyone to use those stories when they're sharing their products. This is a really great resource for all Healy members, but particularly for the new members that join, who have not yet built up their own stories, right? So here's some bonus points that you should allot if you're going to do this as a team activity, is if it covers the problem it solves and the positive resulting feelings, what makes you different, so how you're differentiated, something that can only get from Healy, and what they might miss out on if they don't use Healy, that FOMO shortcut. Okay. Share your product with stories. People move when they feel moved. And we know that stories move people. All right. So we are at the end of our session now. And one of the things that I wanted to do for an extra bonus, if you're around for an extra 5 minutes, I'm going to share a little bit about sharing your products with you and give you some keys that were brought up in the very first part of our time together a year ago when we first started, when we were talking about sales, modern sales. But I wanted to give you a bit of a reminder on some of those things, okay? So sharing your products, of course, is key to a business, or if you're sharing it, whether you're building a team or not, this is really important for those of you who are building a team, okay? So this extra 5 minutes, I know I'm going a little bit over, but this extra 5 minutes are for those of you who are really looking to make Healy a business to bring in some residual income, okay? So you want to be selling your products or services. Oops, sorry about that. You want to be building a stable team, and then essentially you want to help your team do those 2 things. But selling often comes with that lack of confidence. It comes with a bit of cringe because we don't want to be seen as salespeople. You don't necessarily see yourself as a salesperson. So this is why we've added this into telling your story, because selling is really sharing. But it's in the way that you do it. Okay. So what feels better to you? Persuading someone to buy a product or sharing a product that might be able to help? So oftentimes when you take that pressure off yourself and you take it off your prospect, you end up sharing something, and then people are left feeling like they're not being pressured, that they're not being pushed, and often then ask all the right questions. And if it's the right solution, end up moving forward with it. All right. Don't try to sell a product. Instead, share a solution, share an idea, and share an opportunity. Okay. We know that people don't like being sold to. All right. This is something that we've been told over and over again by our prospects. Okay. This is not something that we've made up. This is people telling us we don't want to feel like we're being sold to, like back off. They want people to share things, to connect with them on a human level. And like I said, we shared a lot more about that in our modern sales webinar a few months back now, but by all means, jump in there and take a look at it if you want to. Another reminder is that all people go on that natural sales journey, okay? So we develop awareness, we become interested, we often research solution, and then we consider it. So we might put it up against, we might research many solutions, and then we're like, oh, we like this one, this one. Think about like maybe if you're on Amazon, you're like, I'll give you a perfect example. I needed a bubblegum machine this weekend for my daughter's birthday. And so, okay, so what are the different options? So there are individual bubblegum machines. There's bubblegum machines that take money. There's, bubblegum machines that are plastic, bubblegum machines that are metal, bubblegum machines that sit on the desk, some that sit on the floor. So when I figure out what I want, now I start to consider, okay, can I afford this? What am I using it for? Do I want, so I start thinking about all of these things. And then I made my decision and I purchased the floor model. That took money, but I could turn it on a free session if a free option if I wanted. And we evaluate. After the birthday party, I went down to my daughter and said, how did the bubblegum machine go? And she said, everyone loved it. It was so cool. Yeah. And so I'm a fan of bubblegum machines now. So there you go. Um, so each journey is unique. Like some won't buy. Some people didn't really want a bubblegum machine. Some people just are curious about how much they cost and how they work, right? Some people will buy quickly because I needed one. And some people will take more time, especially if their daughter's birthday is not for 6 months. Okay, but mine was on the weekend. So think about that. Think about it in a realistic way, okay? Our role is just to support people through that process. As we share this journey, we build trust. All right? There are many formal sales processes out there, okay? Tons of them. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get confused. It's super simple. I've been teaching sales for some time now, and I've also been in sales for a couple of decades. The more simple you keep it, the more genuine, the more authentic you are, the better you are at this. If you love your Healy, if you love people, if you believe Healy can help, share it. So how do you do it? You make a connection. You share Healy and why you love it. You let them experience it. Find out if they want it or need it. Answer their questions. If they want to try, if they want to buy, it's so easy. How are you? I'd love to share this with you. Here, please try it. How'd you find it? Did you like it? Oh, I know you were looking for more information. Here you go. Would you like to buy your own? Selling is a skill. You don't need to study to get started. Don't underestimate the power of just sharing your story. The best way to learn is to do it, reflect on how it went, and make simple changes and adjustments along the way. That's it, folks. Sharing your story is easy. And when you're genuine and you love what you do and you love the product that you're using, it's even easier. Folks, we are at the end of our journey together, at least this one. We have one more webinar left, and this is going to be on the power of recognition. I am absolutely thrilled and honored to be here to be on this journey with you. It has been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to seeing you on May 6th. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you, Shannon. If you have a look in the chat, I put the link to the evaluation. And I think there's maybe a couple of people here today that have not attended before. So we definitely hear everyone.
Please.
Yeah, there was some really good questions in the chat. And so, like where do we find, the previous recordings and those types of things. So I think we had some new folks. So please
Awesome.
let us know in the survey how you found today's session, what could be more helpful. In just a moment, I'm going to stop the recording, but after that, I am actually going to ask Shannon to stick around for a minute for us to answer a couple of questions you guys had earlier, okay? But I don't want to put it in the recording because it might kind of cloud the topic that we have today.
Fair.
So if that's fair. So what did I do? I gave you the link to the survey. Perfect. I'm also very quickly just going to put in the chat now link to staying connected with Shannon outside of the sessions. If you have any questions for her,
Please.
happy to connect with you. So please feel free to connect with her on whatever social you prefer, if she's on it. And so that would be great. This is our last official webinar for this program, number 15, not this one.
Yes, next one.
The next one, webinar 15 is on the power of recognition. So please put it in your calendar, May 6th, so that you don't miss it, because I don't know if people fully realize how important recognition is, and it is a big one. So on that note, thanks again, everyone, for attending. I did want to very quickly acknowledge that for some reason, our Spanish captions were not working today. And so I truly want to apologize. I don't know what was happening there. I checked my settings, everything looked right. So we will look into that. And for those of you who that became a bit of a challenge for you, my sincerest apologies. All right. So anyway, have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but feel free to stick around just for a moment or two after if you want to hear me ask Shannon the questions that a couple of you had. All right. Thanks, folks. I'm going to stop the recording.